everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Scott's Soldiers. Today I want to discuss with you a somewhat sensitive topic, life after death, or what happens to your collection after you die. Although this is not a nice subject, and it's one which can be filled with guilt, remorse, frustration, and even headaches, on the subject of death I'm not an expert, and I think I still have a few years left in the tank. While my collection is not enormous by any stretch, I hope that I will have made the arrangements necessary with my own figures before that time. I've spoken to a number of friends who are longtime collectors and who have dealt with estate issues, auction houses, and other facets related to the disposition of a collection. I value their opinions and experiences, and while the how, what, where, when, and why of managing our collections is a personal issue, I think we as collectors have a responsibility to manage and simplify our estates. A caveat: get some advice, and whatever I say is strictly an opinion, and you have to do what is in your best interest. There may also be legal issues where you reside, and you should take those into account as well. So let's get into the video.
It should come as no surprise that the majority of you out there are post-war baby boomers plus, and judging from the data this channel creates, I know you are almost exclusively male in the 55 to infinity year range. Congratulations, you made it this far and are likely retired or on the cusp. Here's the bad news: you're on the downward slope. I see the postings from surviving partners or family in social media, the heavy conversations at collectors' meetings or when collectors gather. Oh, so-and-so passed on. Did you hear that so-and-so died last month? And then the conversation strays to what happened to their collection, or perhaps word has been passed on that the significant other is trying to sell a collection or seeking advice on how to liquidate this apparently highly valuable and unique asset. As you can see, your years of collecting gave you pleasure, but it didn't follow you when you died. So in no particular order, and based on some discussions and things I've seen or noticed, allow me to spout my opinions. 1. I can't emphasize enough that your collection should have some organization framed around it. It starts with a simple inventory list, either an electronic file or hard copy. And as I've shown you before, here is mine. You've likely seen it before, but as I should tell you, I note that what, where, when, how much, and any other pertinent details about my sets are contained in this book. It's a point of reference that contains facts, not guesswork, about my collection. Next, I keep the boxes, not only to preserve my collection and reduce the risk of damage, but it does add a bit to the overall value of a set to another collector. It also helps to make the link between the set and my inventory book. I also place a discreet sticker underneath at least one of all my figures, so there is no guesswork about which set belongs in what box. Lastly, if a figure or set is not on display, it's in a bin or container, not strewn in the attic, basement, cupboards, closets, or in off-sites. This shouldn't be a treasure hunt. Also, I don't collect the beach. I have neither the room or treasury to support such an endeavor, and likely my tastes are such that no one else shares them. I know some of you might subscribe to the adage that whoever has the most toy soldiers wins, but I ask you this: wins what? So along this vein, I think you should downsize while you still can. Maybe there's someone who is actually looking for that rare, not Britain set number 7223, the Yeoman of the Guard from 1974. I don't know. So get rid of it. Buy your spouse something with the proceeds. Let's face it, your collection will not address the national debt. It's a gift or legacy. like your box of Pez dispensers or that album of wine labels. So see if your immediate family or friends would want the collection. First bite of the apple, so to speak, or give them some direction on how to proceed with it. A roadmap, as it were. So what are some of the options? Well, to the scrap metal dealer, it's worth its weight in metal. It'll be weighed, checked against the current market value for scrap metal, and then you're offered a price and it's over. Doesn't matter what you think it's worth. Doesn't matter if it's that rare mint set number 1 of Britain's Life Guards in the original box. That's the quick and dirty solution. But if that doesn't appeal to you, you could pass it through an auction house. Like scrap metal dealers, there are pluses and minuses to auction houses. There are your local or regional auction houses, national and international, and they may or may not be motivated to take on another toy soldier collection. It may or may not realize its estimated value, and there are a myriad of financial costs related to having a professional firm handle a collection. And at the end of the day, it's going to be work for somebody, and you will have to bear the cost. You could try to offer it to a museum or similar institution, but I think they already have loads of stuff in storage facilities that have real cultural, historical, or educational value that outweigh what your estate is offering. It could be sold piecemeal at a toy soldier show. You certainly would be hitting the right audience or demographic, and if priced to sell, it could be the solution, and it would go to a good home, so to speak. This may require travel and logistics to get to the show, as well as some knowledge beforehand of value or selling price, a guesstimate of its ballpark market value. But really, if your spouse or loved one has made it this far, they really only want to unload your collection and hopefully cover their related expenses, plus a modest, with the emphasis on modest, profit. I think it's wonderful that we surround ourselves with things we value, family, friends, pets, etc. But at the end of the day, the living have to go on living. Not solving what is essentially a problem of your creation is not going to make for fond memories. So avoid the funeral at 12, yard sale at 1:30 scenario. Organize your collection. Do some downsizing, a bit of estate planning, and generally make it easier for the rest of us. If you enjoyed my dark and foreboding opinions, please leave a comment or hit the like or subscribe buttons. Until next time, keep collecting with an eye to your future.